I have 6 o'clock. I would like to call the meeting of the Insurance Committee to order. Our chairman, Mr. Gregory, he was unable to attend tonight, and currently we do not have a vice chair. I serve as the secretary. I enjoy serving as secretary. But in their absence, I will chair tonight's meeting. The first order of business is to review the minutes from the September 23rd, 2021 meeting. Mr. Harsh.
Move to approve the minutes as presented.
Okay. I have a motion from Mr. Harsh. Do I have a second? Mr. Jewell. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, motion carries. Our second order of business is to elect the officers. I'd like to open the floor for nominations for chairman of the committee. Mr. Harsh?
Nominate Bubba Gregory as chairman.
Okay, I have a nomination for Mr. Gregory. Do I have a second? Mr. Jewell has the second. Are there any other nominations for chairman? Okay, are there any other nominations? Okay. To have a motion to approve Mr. Gregory as chairman of this committee? I'm sorry. All in favor? Aye. Okay. All opposed? Yes. Okay. So Mr. Gregory is the chairman of the committee. Okay. I'd like to open the floor for nominations for vice chairman. Okay. Mr. Lonnie Taylor for vice chairman. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. Are there any other nominations? Any other nominations for vice chair? Okay. All in favor of Mr. Taylor being elected as vice chair, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay. Mr. Taylor is vice chair. Okay. Now I'd like to open nominations for secretary of the committee. Okay, Mr. Harsh.
Nominate Marianne Baker.
Okay, Mr. Harsh, do I have a second?
Second.
Are there any other nominations for secretary? Any other nominations? Okay. All in favor of Marianne Baker being secretary, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, motion carries. Okay, our next order of business is the insurance broker recommendation. Mayor Chambers, would you like to speak to that?
Yes, Madam Chair. We put out an RFQ for insurance broker services. This is in response to the compensation study that said some of our coverage options were below the market. So we did put that out. We got responses from the 3 groups that are here tonight. And the first one we've got on it to do a presentation would be 5 Points Benefits. And I believe Wes Dozier, am I saying that correctly?
Yes, sir.
It'll be up first. So if you could step this podium right here, and then at the bottom of that, there's a button if you would push that to speak.
All right, so don't have to hold it down. It's just good to go. I'd real first like to ask about the materials that y'all have in hand. Did y'all have an opportunity to look through the material and read the material that was in there? Well, real quick, I'll just give you a high level on who 5 Points is, what we do, and what makes us unique, I think, in the marketplace. 5 Points, we're an employee benefits broker. So we help groups shop their health insurance, their dental, their vision, all of their supplemental benefits. That's something that you're going to find common, I would believe, across all the people that are in this room right now. I like to make some assumptions and assume that everybody here is looking for a broker who can go out and shop the market and get the best benefits at the best cost for the employees. Somebody who has a good reputation in the marketplace, and somebody that can back that reputation up with a lot of really good references. Again, I know a couple of the guys that are in here, see familiar faces. Y'all really can't go wrong. Here, you got some good people here tonight. So that's what we do. We are the largest public sector broker in the state of Tennessee. We work with over, collectively, I think the number is close to 120 separate school systems, county governments, and city governments. So public sector is definitely our niche. One of the things that we like to say is that we are an extension of the Human Resources Department and the Benefits Department. Everybody is strapped when it comes to their budget, and we understand that. So our goal is to come alongside the people that are handling the benefits, that are handling the human resources, and really just support them in the job that they're doing. We have a team of 15 different people that work on our agency side. We have a dedicated account manager that we assign to all of our clients. So that's the dedicated point of service. You have myself, which runs the benefits team. And then we also have an attorney on staff. Our attorney, when the pandemic hit, we realized that people were not going to want to talk about insurance for quite some time. So we have a history of being responsive to the things that y'all are having trouble with. That started back with the Affordable Care Act, when everybody was kind of wondering, what do I do with this? Very little guidance given from the state. We positioned ourselves and held people's hands and helped get them through the implementation of the Affordable Care Act. Recently, it's been FFCRA, CARES, all the impact that that's had on FMLA, all the impact that that's had on unemployment. I mean, the pandemic has literally touched every single part. So we regularly provide compliance assistance in addition to just being a traditional insurance broker. Our attorney, Marissa, that's doing all the webinars, all the education, she's available by phone. She's available by email. We provide a lot of support that is not necessarily just your traditional insurance brokerage. So I think we do a very good job on the insurance broker. We've got some really innovative solutions that are out there, but we also have a really robust compliance for human resources and benefits that we bring to the table. Another thing is that we also consult on the state health plan. A lot of times we can go out to the market and we can shop a private medical plan, and we can come up with something that gets the employees better benefits at a better cost. But if we can't do that, then we still help look at the existing plans that are on the state health plan and come up with budget strategies within the state health plan itself. We've got some proprietary tools that we use that we've developed over the years that include employee education, and again, geared around educating your employees about the benefits that they have and highlighting what the county is providing for those employees. So that comes along with total compensation statements, a way to show them what they are making, not just their salary, but also how much is the county paying towards health insurance? How much are they paying towards their other benefits, to give them a big picture of what it is you're doing. We insure over 70,000 lives across the state, And what that means is even though Hartsville Trousdale is technically a smaller employer, we have pooled plans that are only available to 5 points. So we have dental plans, we have vision plans that are not just looking at the number of employees here. We go out to the carriers, and because we have so many covered lives, they make us special deals that other people can't get in the marketplace. So based on your geographical region, depends on which pool or what company we go with, because it's not always just about the benefit and the cost. You also have to make sure that there's a good network so that people can actually have somebody that's local that they can go to. The thing that I think really sets us apart, in addition to the traditional insurance broker piece of things, is that consulting, but we also have a technology platform that's called My Benefits Channel. My Benefits Channel is connected with local government. Depending on what platform, the FlexGen or the NextGen system, we developed a partnership with local government corporation, which is who your payroll is with. And we have integration with payroll. So online paycheck stubs, online W-2s, people being able to see their benefit deductions, the Affordable Care Act. We have an entire compliance suite that's inside of My Benefits Channel that helps your finance department do their Affordable Care Act reporting. There's online training. There's a whole online training platform in there. We also have time and attendance solutions in our platform. And we have a lot of human resources and benefits all in one place. We like to say one username, one password. And I know in county governments, not everybody wants to gravitate towards technology. There's still a personal approach. You know, there's still that, you know, the paper for those who want to do paper. But if we're looking to move in an environment that is a little bit more electronic, paperless onboarding of new employees, a way to go out and search, post jobs to the website and find national people who are just looking to relocate from other places to small town. We literally have examples of people from Michigan, Indiana, California, finding small places that they want to move and work, and opening up that talent pool. So I won't go too much longer. Yeah, I don't want to bore y'all to death. We have other people that are here to speak too, but I really do think that we do a fantastic job as your insurance broker. And we're licensed with over 50 different insurance companies. So we work for you, and we go out and we find the right benefit company. We make sure that you get the best benefits at the best cost. But having the on-staff attorney and having the My Benefits Channel as a part of our package is what I think really sets us apart. So thank y'all for giving me a few minutes. Do y'all have any questions? Okay. Oh yeah, absolutely. I love that question. Sometimes people think you know, how do you get paid as a taboo subject, and that's not at all. We take the industry standard commissions from the insurance products, and that's how we get compensated. So medical insurance, dental insurance, vision insurance, supplemental policies like accident, cancer, critical illness, life insurance, disability insurance. All of those products are filed and approved with the state of Tennessee Insurance Department. And part of that approval is they disclose the amount of commissions that are built into the product. So the way that we get compensated is when people choose to purchase those products, there's a commission that's built into those, and that's how we get compensated. Yes.
I'm sorry, are there any other fees other than that involved?
So the My Benefits Channel is a flat $99 per year. There's a lot of things inside of My Benefits Channel that
That
are.
per person or just? total?
It's just a flat $99.
Okay.
And I know that sounds cheesy. We do so much in my benefits channel that we've been very careful to be fully transparent with the department to say, this is our business model. This is what we do. This is what we provide. And it got to be really confusing because it was, well, you can give these things away for free if they're related to benefits. But if it's related to these other things that are human resources, you have to charge for those. And it just got to be too confusing. So what we did was we tried to simplify it. So when we work with groups as their insurance broker, we accept the industry standard commissions. That's how we get paid. And then we have an enterprise license with my benefits channel. So the agency is covering that through our license. And we had to choose some number. So $99 per year sounded like a good number. So that's it. And we do the same thing across the state, regardless of how big you are or how small you are. If you're a My Benefits channel customer, if you're a 5 Points customer, then you get the $99 for the standard modules. It's outlined in there. There are a few premium features that if somebody wants to buy up to those premium features, those are some of the ones that the applicant tracking. Like I said, if you wanted to use our system to post your jobs out nationally, we have a time and attendance system. We have two of them. We have one that's included in the $99. And then we have another one that's the advanced version that has some more of those rules that handle all the overtime provisions and things like that that the sheriff and the police have to do. And then the last one is we offer a service with our health insurance, the ACA reporting, where if y'all want to outsource your ACA reporting and just have us do it instead of y'all do it, that's a premium feature as well. But everything's very affordable. Again, we know that y'all are county government. You don't have much money. I can tell you this, that I think at the heart of that is a lot of times people are looking for the gotcha. Where's the gotcha? We have a reputation across the state. That's how we've got to over 120 customers. And if we had gotchas, there's no way that we would get there. Good questions. I like questions.
I have another one. Compliance training, as far as y'all handle that for us, and is there a charge for that as far as?
So the compliance training that our attorney does, that's just a part of the package as well. So we did about 70 different webinars from the beginning of the pandemic until now. All of our customers have access to all of our webinars on demand after they're there. We've also, upon request, come out and done trainings of the department heads. So example, when COVID first hit and everybody was trying to figure out, how do we do contact tracing? Who do we send home? How long do they stay home? What are the rules? Upon request, we even went out and did trainings directly with different directors to help everybody deal with that. We also came up with the flow charts and the actual forms that the directors and supervisors used to track all of that.
On one of your items here that talks about that you provide service around the state health plan, and then it says, even though you do not receive compensation for that product, so how are you compensated for if we stay with that plan?
So, we're definitely always going to go and we'll shop the health plan every single year if you want us to, even when you're on the state health plan. And in full transparency, because of the way that we do work on commissions, we do make more money when we have the health insurance plan, but we also want to make sure that our business model is we've got to do the right thing for you. So if we go shop the private market and we can't get a plan that's competitively priced and has, you know, just as good of benefits for a better price or better benefits at a better price, and the state health plan is the right plan to be on, we don't want to tell people, oh, I'm sorry, I can't work with you. So our business model, we have so many groups because the state health plan is the same across the state. That allows us to have a standardized consulting that we do. And we're at that critical mass now is where we have enough customers of when we create something for one, it's scalable across the entire state. So the calculator that we have created over the years, the budgeting strategies, a lot of the work's already been done, and you're just getting the benefit of all those years of us being familiar with the plan and having built those tools. Did that answer the question? If it didn't, I'll try to answer it again.
Well, it's more about if we stay, if like you look at it and say, okay, you're better off staying on the state plan. How are you compensated for the time you put into it? You're not getting commission because we didn't go off into another plan. It says you don't get that, you don't get compensated under the state plan. So how are you getting paid?
So the accident, cancer, critical illness, life insurance, disability insurance, we do ask to be the only broker and to allow us to put in solutions that would allow us to get compensated. We do also ask that the dental and the vision be with us as well. You can be on the state health plan, but you can be on a private dental and vision. It's not all or one. And I do feel very good about our options on the dental and the vision, that those are better than the state options. They might cost a few more dollars, but the network and the benefits are better than that. So that's how we get compensated, is even if we don't have the health plan, we do ask that we have all the voluntary benefits and the dental and the vision insurance.
I'm a little unclear on, you're a broker. You go out, you shop these plans. Do you bring back what our existing at the time is, say the state plan, versus do you present 2, 3, 1 as an alternative? I mean, typically, how does that process of selection and who makes that selection, I guess, work?
Yeah, great question.
The logistics of it, I guess, is.
Great question. So the logistics of that are that we take the existing benefit plans, whoever those are with, or if we identify a service or a plan that you don't have that we believe that you need, we go out and we shop the market. So we go to our carriers, our relationships, and we solicit bids from multiple different carriers. We bring those back. We spreadsheet all of those. We look at the financials of the company first. We look at the integrity of the company, the reputation. And as long as they meet the requirements there, then we look into the benefits and the network. So we whittle it down for you or for whoever's making that decision. So we would come to either Stephen and his team or to the insurance committee, and we will have narrowed it down to however many options. So whether that's 3 options, 6 options, however many you want us to bring, and it can get pretty detailed, but we lay everything out in a spreadsheet and say, here are the plans that we think are the best. We usually like to give a recommendation on of the options. We think this one is the best. We've done all the work to this point. Here's our recommendation, but you're the client. At the end of the day, the ultimate decision on who you use is up to you.
And one last thing along those same lines. Are we ever in a situation where we present to the employees that they have a choice between this plan and this plan, or what we decide is going to be their only choices? I know in times past we've had that scenario.
Yep.
I just wondered if that is usual or not.
typically what you see is the decision being made at the administrative level. Sometimes they do go out and solicit feedback, say, hey, this is what we're thinking. We want to get your input before we make a decision. If you leave a decision up to the group as a whole, then that, I believe, can get really messy. So soliciting feedback, I think, is great. Sometimes smaller committees, are formed in addition to just the regular insurance committee to look at that. But typically what you see is the administration or the insurance committee making the final decision on which companies and which plans are going to be offered. And then we work with carriers and partners who have enrollment teams. So we come on site every year. We meet one-on-one with each one of the employees, and we walk them through what all their benefit options are. So people have the opportunity to ask questions. They have the opportunity to talk with somebody and somebody to assist them in making their insurance elections. Now there may be, let's say, the health insurance plan. You may choose to offer 2 plans, or 3 plans. It's not just here's our plan, take it and leave it. That's all a part of the negotiation process and getting to the point of where we're ready to talk to employees. So really at the end of the day, the benefit plan is whatever y'all want it to be.
I know, like with the state health plan, they have an option of Blue Cross Blue Shield, and at one time United, I believe it was. I may be misquoting the other company. And then of course you've got PPO and SPO and SRO and BBG and PPD and all those acronyms that you have. But you have a choice within the choice, I
Correct.
guess is what I'm trying to say.
Correct.
And is that unique to the state plan, or does some of these other companies' plans, would they have a similar approach that you have choices?
Yeah, I would say that the state health plan having 4 different options, you're really not going to find that in very many places in the private market. Because they do have such a mass, they've got the 4 different levels. Typically on a private plan, we see 2 options, more of like a high or a low. But again, you can have a single option and say, guys, we're doing an HRA plan, high deductible health plan with an HRA. If you want our health insurance, that's it, take it or leave it. Or you can have, one that's a HSA, and then you can have another one that's a traditional, deductible co-insurance plan. So it's up to you, but on a private, I would say typically you like to slim it down a little bit, 1 or 2 options. But if you're offering the state health plan, it's their rules. So they have 4 options. And if you're on the state health plan, you have to offer all 4 options. Yeah, no problem. Great questions.
Okay, thank you. Does anyone else have any questions? Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. And do we have anyone else that'd like to?
Okay, so I wasn't going to I'm not going to give a formal presentation. We did that the other night. I don't have COVID, I don't have the flu, and I don't have strep. I've been tested for all 3. I think I just have a bad cold. So I'm not contagious. But I want to just point out a couple things real quick. One is that employee benefit providers have had to become human resource consultants. That's just the way it is. We've all had to evolve from finding the best plans, benefit plans. We've all had to evolve into providing human resource support, legal advice, compliance, training, employee training, all of those things. And hopefully, you all recall from our previous presentation that we do all those things as well. But here's the thing that we do, and I think in dealing in the space with what I call local government, cities and counties, we have, let me say it this way. If you want to make a financial impact on your budget, probably one of the best places to do that is with your major medical insurance, not dental or vision or some of those plans, because those plans, whether you buy one of those plans from the state or whether you buy one of them from a private broker, they're commodities. You with me? They're going to be very similar in price and plan. In fact, they're almost identical, okay, as far as the plan designs. But if you want to make an impact on your budget, the best place to do it is by taking, only if it's appropriate, taking your group out of the state pool, state plan. Now, you got to be careful when you do that. There's certain things that you have to consider, but we have a track record of successfully taking cities and counties out of the state plan, improving benefits, not taking away benefits, improving benefits, improving customer service, because the state has a great plan. It's a rich plan. They have good rates, but they don't provide a lot of customer service on the major medical side. So we have a track record of doing it and doing it very successful. We've got groups that have been out of the state for 9 years and have saved literally millions of dollars. I mean, when I say saved, obviously it costs, but compared to the state. Now, we've done 2 presentations just because to the mayor and to Vicki and to the previous insurance commission, just to give you an idea of how it would work. And I think, Caleb, do you have, what was the guaranteed savings? It was close to 6 figures. Yeah. Now, but we didn't do it by taking anything away. In fact, we enhanced. All right. So, Mayor, do you know what plan do you have with the state?
Are you asking me personally? Or
Yeah, you personally.
I have the limited.
You have limited. Do you know what your deductible is?
Not right off the top of my head. If you hadn't asked me, I think I probably could have told you. I think it's around 6,000, 7,000, maybe 8,000, somewhere around in there.
You're pretty good. It's 60. It's 6,800. Okay. So what that means is that's out of pocket maximum. Now, every plan, and this is by the Affordable Care Act legislation, every medical insurance plan has to tell the employee or tell the covered party what their out of pocket maximum would be for a 12-month period. And that is the worst case. So in other words, after they pay their deductibles, their co-pays, their co-insurances, all their expenses, $6,800. So if Mayor Chambers got the COVID virus and spent, 2 or 3 days in the hospital, and he would be looking at having to pay $6,800. All right. Our version of that plan, we mirror the state plan in every way. In fact, we use the same terms. We call our plan the limited plan because we want to make it easy for employees during this transition. That same employee, you all know what you're paying that employee. That same employee will have about a $3,200 out-of-pocket max. I don't have it in front of me because I didn't bring it, but it's somewhere in the low 3,000s. So we're literally going to save that employee if they have a catastrophic medical event. If Mr. Chambers was that employee, $3,000 for that calendar year. That's how we design our plan. Now, the state plan is good for most. Okay, it is. It's a good plan, but it's not the best for all. And we feel, because we've done it twice, we feel fairly confident that we can show you a major medical plan that would improve coverage for employees, lower their out-of-pocket cost, and save the taxpayers of this county 10%-ish. Again, I don't have it in front of me because I didn't bring it, but typically that's what our savings is. Same network, same copay, same deductible, same co-insurance, but about half as much out of pocket. Now, I would like, now, Mayor, we presented we just informally, I guess, we informally showed you a plan a couple of years ago that did that. I just would like a confirmation that, I mean, you didn't do it because it hadn't gone through the political process, but.
You did a presentation in the office, and I think you came to about 2 years ago, the insurance committee, and did a presentation there as well.
Yeah.
They decided at that time not to do that. And I think you came back was it at this last meeting, September 23rd, and spoke
Yep.
about another,
Yep.
I think the most recent one you've done.
Have you checked any of our references of any other cities or counties that we've taken out of the state? And
Yes,
have
sir. We
done-
checked references on everybody that applied, and everybody got glowing reviews from whoever we talked to, both you, Benefits Blueprint, Sequoia, 5 Points. Everybody spoke highly of all of you.
Thank you. Well, we don't know how to do everything, but one thing we do know how to do, and that is we know how to transition, when appropriate, cities and counties out of the state plan into a private plan. We've done it. We have a history of doing it. Now, once you leave the state plan, you have to stay out for 2 years. So that first year, that savings amount has got to be a pretty big number for us to even recommend that you do that. Now, I think naming a broker is a wise thing to do, because all of us, we're professionals in this field, and there's a lot of compliance, and there's a lot of things that come up in human resources. And I think having any of the three of us organizations would be beneficial from that standpoint. You would benefit. We don't charge a fee for anything. We get paid the same way as 5 Points. We receive commissions from the sale of the products. There's no fees. There's no commitment. We don't ask you to sign a contract. But one thing that I believe that sets us apart is we have a track record of taking cities and counties out of the state plan and doing it very effectively and helping everybody, employees, taxpayers, they're all in. So anyway, thank you guys. I appreciate it. Whoops.
Do we have anyone else from either Sequoia or 5 Points to speak tonight?
Yes, ma'am. Zender Helton is here with Sequoia, if he wants to get up and speak.
Hey, I'm Xander Helton with Sequoia Group. I run the state of Tennessee. First and foremost, you've all hopefully received information upon Sequoia Group. Have you had ample time to review that information? Has everybody reviewed it? So before I get into anything else, we've already made a formal presentation. We do have the endorsement of the Association of County Mayors and the Association of Tennessee Valley Governments. We've been in the county government space since 2008, and Tennessee, the Association of Tennessee Valley Governments as well, which is everything that TVA encompasses. So there's a little bit of background about us, but I would like to open the floor first and foremost about the presentation that we did a few months ago, if there's any questions about that. No?
If you could cover a little bit about your, I guess on your online software system, I guess it's is it SGI Connect?
SGI Connect.
If you could go a little bit more kind of in depth about that. There was some examples in here about a dashboard, but if you could kind of get into that a little bit, I have questions on exactly how that operates.
Right. So the dashboard and SGI Connect are actually two separate things. SGI Connect is our benefit administration system where we can pull out different spreadsheets and everything else and run different reports where your employees can see their benefits 24/7 during that time. And so that directly correlates with the HR support that the county has. So our financial dashboard actually runs all of the claims data that your county goes through. And then we project renewals from there. That way we know whether it's smart or not to take you out of the state. For instance, we've had I won't name the county, south of Nashville for about 5 years now. We've quoted them out of the state each and every year. Up until this point, it did not make sense. This past year, we did move them out of the state and they did have significant savings, beefed up their plan designs and so on and so forth. I won't give specifics into that, of course, because my competition's in the room. So that's how we have a financial analytics team in-house that correlates that, pulls out your RX, your individual claims data as well, so that we can accurately project renewals and to see if it's even feasible to go on the state or come off of the state. Our benefit administration system is just like it says, that's where you do all your adds, terms, and changes. That's more or less for the HR support in the room, that day-to-day stuff that we make it so easy to administer. That is a value add to that service. We don't charge anything for our fees. We do ACA reporting and compliance as a value add as well. So as far as the dashboard and the benefit administration system, that's how it goes. We have also onboarded a 1,600 employee life group, all virtual as well. So if there was ever a instance where COVID or any other virus or national catastrophe ever was to arise, we have those capabilities to onboard each and every employee as well as instructional videos. So, any other questions? I know we did a formal presentation a couple months ago, so I don't really want to go into all of that. I gave you a brief history, but if there's any other questions, I'm happy to explain specifics. Yeah.
Very simple, unfair question.
Yeah.
What's different about your approach than these other two companies?
Right. So, for instance, I'm not meaning to pick on 5 points as well. So our ACA reporting is not a premier access plan. It's gratis. So other services or other brokers will charge for that fee as well. Also, we have a SHRM certified HR professional that serves on our team, as well as other HR professionals. We just have a one designated SHRM certified HR professionals to help out with the day-to-day upgrading employee handbooks, so on and so forth, you name it, as far as the HR. She was in the private sector for over 25 years and stays on staff full-time, available to you 24/7. Also, our benefit administration system is completely different than as fast 5 points mission. We build that in-house, quick turnaround as far as that goes. We actually have a benefit administration team that builds that as well. We are self-sufficient. All right.
Could you go over your costs? I'm sorry.
We
You
do
said-
not charge anything for our fees. Kind of like Mr. Herndon was saying, we get paid off of the commissions generated within the group. Standard commissions. We don't charge anything for our fees and services.
I'll ask you the same question I asked 5 points. If you look at us and say we need to stay on the state plan, is there any compensation, or how do you get compensated there? Do you have any other requirements?
No, just as long as we're the benefits broker on the voluntary benefit side, it takes care of everything in the medical. Like I said, we were a larger county in South Central Tennessee. They've been a client of ours for 5 years, and we quoted them on and off per their request of the state medical. And like I said, they've been a client of ours for 5 years, and then this year it made sense. They showed significant savings. And we moved them on, and they've beefed up their medical insurance and still have savings to this day. They're going on year 2. Okay. Anything else? Happy to answer anything else. I just didn't want to go into another presentation that you guys have already heard. All right.
Do we have anyone else that would like to speak? I have a few questions, but I think they're more for the mayor's office. It's my understanding that if we go with, how many employees do we have that have the benefits, the life insurance, the other benefits? They will lose those if we go with one of these other companies. Is that correct?
The optional coverages that we have is through American Fidelity, so we would not have well, it, would depend on what these other companies offer, but it probably would be rolled over. I'm assuming whatever they have, they could change to another vendor.
If I get anything wrong for you, tell me, but we would all evaluate the current plans and either, keep the existing plans sometimes if that's what people want to do, but more times than not, we bring in comparable plans that have provisions like continuity of coverage or grandfathering provisions so that nobody loses the coverage that they have and that they have the opportunity to change to a new company without having any kind of penalties. So basically they get credit for the existing coverage, but we bring in plans that are better benefits and better costs with guaranteed rollover provisions. So that would be replaced, but it would be a better replacement. Is that fair?
A lot of times on the initial enrollment, we can offer. Just to piggyback on that, he's exactly right. A lot of times with a new enrollment, a new carrier, if there is a new carrier that would offer a better deal, most of the time they'll give this thing called guaranteed coverage, guaranteed issue, which means that employees that may have been on the previous plan and have a, high blood pressure or they're diabetic or, have some minor health problems, they will allow them to purchase up to 100,000 or 150. It depends. It's a negotiated thing, but so that's another benefit of going through this process. Employees that don't have enough life insurance, that don't want to go to a insurance agent and buy it and have to go through underwriting, they can get a higher amount without that. Any of us can offer that.
Okay. What's the will of the body? Do we want to take action on this tonight or?
I just would ask if the committee decides it doesn't want to make a choice tonight, given that we're wanting to get this going when we go into the next, figure next year's budget, which we'll start doing in February and March, if we could schedule something kind of early in January, if you're going to decide not to do something here tonight, but we do need to get moving on this to try to get those in place as we move into the next budget year.
I'm a little reticent to do anything tonight since we're so low on our numbers, with 3 people not here. But can we go ahead and do our evaluations and turn those in and maybe solicit them to do them on their own and turn them in? Would that be a good approach to it, Mayor, or not?
Yes, because I need to think about that for a couple of minutes.
Just out of curiosity, I want to see how I did later. I like to grade myself. So is this recorded? Because if there's members that missed, then they can hear all the same things that y'all heard tonight, which I feel like would even the playing field as far as the different members. So I was just curious if it was recorded.
Yes, we record this. It's actually streaming live on Facebook right now. So it'll be archived or they're available on Facebook, but we also download it and put it on the county's YouTube channel with a link from the county's website. So there'll be a link under the insurance committee to that video. And normally it's it's normal that if committee members miss it, they'll watch that, or the secretaries will go back and make sure they haven't missed anything. But yes, it will be available to anyone on the planet that wants to watch it. Well, I would just, since we've got three companies here, what is your thoughts on being graded now, and then also some of them turning them in later? I hate to put it in such simple terms, but that's basically what it is. Two of you have done presentations before, and they can go back and see what 5 Points did today, plus all this material is available to them as well. I initially don't have a problem with it if that gets us towards some kind of resolution, but even if we are going to do that, just to make sure we do cover all our bases and don't do anything that could perceive to be outside the bounds, if we could come back in early January, just review those and do it something officially then. I would feel much better doing it that way.
So you're saying everyone just bring back their score sheet in January?
Yeah, I'm very reluctant about the three members that are going to do something outside, score something
bounds
outside
of
the
the
meeting.
meeting.
Yeah, I'm very, very leery of that. I don't want to avoid any appearance of anything unproprietary happening.
I absolutely understand where you're coming from, and that was my question. It's kind of a gray area, something that we typically wouldn't do, and I didn't know whether it would be appropriate to do it or not. You know, certainly I think January, if we had the whole bunch here, I'd be all over trying to do it tonight, but in fairness to them,
Well,
and I mean, this is a decision, not just for us. I mean, it's not going to matter to me. And so many of us making this decision is probably not going to really matter to us personally. So the more people that have input into the final decision, the more comfortable I am with that decision. And that was my, I hate to have a meeting, not to be able to have a meeting, but I just, you know, but whatever y'all want to do, I'm good.
What's your thinking, Mr. Harsh?
I do think that we have several members absent tonight, and they would have some valuable input on this committee as well, especially our chairman's not here tonight. And I think it would be better if we evaluated it all at one group at one time at the next available meeting.
When is our next scheduled meeting? Do we know?
We don't have, it meets as necessary, so there's not one scheduled right now. I would ask if you look at it, the first full week in January, the 3rd's available, which will be Monday the 3rd, or Thursday the 6th is currently available. Okay, so if we're going to, I would prefer to do it in that week, and that gets us sufficiently early in January that if we're going to pick someone, you can send that on to the full commission to bless that, and then we'll be on our way.
Okay. So can we set a meeting for the 6th? Will that give us enough time for the other committee members to just maybe reach out to them and make sure that they, any possible way they can come?
We normally get these posted within 1 to 2 business days online. Of course, it's there on Facebook almost immediately as soon as the meeting's over. So we can send them a link to either one of those, and we get it posted as soon as possible, and ask them to go back and review it, as well as review their materials. Now, I will say, I don't have any objection if they want to use the scoring sheet and then score them outside the meeting and bring that with them to discuss it at the meeting. I don't have a problem with that. It's just some people doing it now and some people turn it in later, and then that created a little bit of an issue in my mind. So that was my concern there. And I am currently on the calendar, so I'm putting it on January 8th at 6 p.m. Is that correct, Madam Chair?
I think January 6th.
Oh, 6th, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. January 6th at 6 p.m. Let me say a little bit slower so my brain doesn't overrun my mouth.
Yes, January 6th at 6 PM. Yes, sir, go ahead.
Okay, so are we going to give a formal, another presentation or what?
I
Okay,
wouldn't think, no,
Okay.
the members who weren't here, we're going to send them the link to the video.
I got you.
Like I said, we can send them a link to Facebook. It's there. As soon as this meeting's over, it cycles up and posts to
Okay.
Facebook. So we can either send them that one, but we normally try to get the YouTube posted the next day. So we can send them a link to either one and they can go back and watch that. Plus they'll have all the
Yep.
qualifications everyone's submitted. So they should have all the material to go ahead and look through that and have a decision what they want to do when they come back in January.
All right, perfect.
I would like to say I appreciate all of y'all in your interest, your presentations, your packets are impressive. And we have a hard decision, but we will make a decision.
Do we have any other discussion tonight?
The only other question I have is, do we want to make the meeting 1 hour from 6 to 7, or do you want to make it from 6 to 8?
Well, I think everyone's had the material and they saw the presentations. So I think maybe we should be able to just, an hour should be sufficient, I would think.
One thing we might want to check with Mr. Gregory, because I know he has a hard time making 6 o'clock meetings, and we might need to make it at 7 o'clock for his benefit. I don't know. I'm not speaking for him. I just might want to defer the time to him and just kind of set this as a tentative time and date and let him maybe make the final decision on it.
Well, what I'll do is I'll go ahead and block it off from 6 to 8, and then if he wants it to be from 7 to 8, that way that time's already reserved.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Okay. Do we have any public comment tonight? Okay. That being said, Mr. Jewell. Mr. Jewell, with a motion to adjourn, do I have a second? Mr. Harsh, we are adjourned.